Thank you so much for staying with us. Another disappointing batting performance and another defeat for the West Indies women, who ended their tri-series in South Africa with an 8-wicket defeat to India on Monday. Sent into bat, the West Indies women were restricted to 94 for 6 from their 20 overs. The third time in 4 innings, they were failing to reach the 100 mark. Captain Hayley Matthews again led the scoring, producing 34 from as many deliveries after opening the batting. 18-year-old St. Lucian Zeta James, one of 2 under-19 debutants, was the next best scorer with 21 not out. Player of the match Dipti Sharma claimed 3 for 11 for India as they set 95 for victory. India eased their target, scoring 95 for 2 in 13.5 overs. Jamima Rodriguez, who ended on 42, and Harmanpreet Kaur, 32, guided India to victory with an unbroken 54-run third-wicket stand. The result means that the Windies women went winless in their 4 matches, losing twice to both India and South Africa. Here's Captain Hayley Matthews addressing her team's showing.
It's a bit difficult for the team results-wise. But at the same time, we understand what we're going through at the moment. Still have a lot of senior players injured. It was really good to have Leah Aline back today. But obviously the absence of Chanel Henry and Stephanie Taylor plays a massive role when it comes to our batting lineup. At the same time, it was really, really good to see the under-19 step in today. The way Zeta James was able to play with the bats and just the energy that they brought in the field was really good. So yeah, pretty tough tournament for us when it comes to the results, but at the same time, still a lot of positives that we can take from certain games within the series.
Matthews was also asked how long she expected players like 31-year-old Stephanie Taylor and 36-year-old Shadeen Nation to remain available to the team.
I think probably just as long as we need, obviously. Like I keep mentioning, with a couple of the young girls coming into the setup, it's going to take a bit of time for them to mature and grow as players. Yeah, people like Stephanie and Chanel Henry, only 27 or 28 years old. Shadeen, obviously a bit older than both, but yeah, I reckon within this transitioning phase that we're going through at the moment, we give the under-19s another 2-3 years to fully develop. I reckon we can have a new generation of West Indies batters coming through. And yeah, like it all comes down to the structure put in place back home. And yeah, hopefully West Indies are putting a bit more tournaments in place to have that done. And I have no doubt that they are.
The tri-series was an important part of the team's build-up to the T20 World Cup, which begins on the 10th of February. The West Indies will open their campaign on February 11 against England. So, George, 4 out of 4 losses. Of course, the Windies women, they are without a couple of players. They're missing because of injury. I had the opportunity to speak to Coach Courtney Walsh on In Case You Missed It. And, you know, it's something that, of course, dampens their spirit to have Stephanie Taylor with them, of course, training and whatnot, but not able to call on her services.
Yeah. The easy thing to say, where the West Indies women are concerned right now, is that it's a poor team that has been found out, because the mainstays of the team, the performance mainstays, you're talking about Dottin Nation herself, of course, Stephanie Taylor, former captain, and Hayley Matthews from the time she's come onto the scene, and a few others, but mainly the Dottin Taylor duo. People say the West Indies women have been found out because without those people, players, then it has been shown to be not much else. And Hayley Matthews struggling with an inexperienced bunch. That's the easy thing to say. But what is true is that every team loses senior players. Every team loses experienced players to injury, especially the older they get. What quality exists below that level? And I think it is for us to acknowledge greater than the fact that the team has been playing badly and losing badly, because that much is obvious, and to blame it on the fact that we don't have 2 players. How is it that the cupboard is so bare that the wave after is not strong enough to be competitive? And again, this is where we've fallen with West Indies cricket, both the men and the women, especially the women now. Nobody's asking for the West Indies women to be blowing away these big teams that they're playing against. People are asking for them to be competitive, and they've not been competitive. And I want to say that well, I started this with a tinge of optimism, but I have to go full on pessimistic now. Because when you have a team that is losing heavily, there is no way they are going to play, get experience and then become good. It doesn't work that way.
Yes.
Players have to be part of winning teams. Winning teams builds confidence. Confidence builds sex, facilitates self-expression. Self-expression facilitates solid achievement. Solid achievement over time leads to consistency. Consistency leads to good results. So it's a continuum. And my fear is that because of the reasons for us to be losing as badly as we have been for the past 2 years or more, even with some of our mainstays present, the fact of the matter is that these girls that we're depending on will not improve in an environment where we are being beaten heavily by other teams, and the skippers and senior players of other teams are giving interviews, pitying the West Indies as the English did the other day. Oh my, we're so sorry for them. It rubs me the wrong way, but I think we should buckle down for a long, hard night where West Indies women are concerned, because I don't think we've seen the worst of it yet.
And as you say that, earlier today when I was listening to the press conference, of course preparing for this show, I really thought about Hayley Matthews. Hayley is a brilliant player,
yes,
both with bat and ball. And I started to think, I wonder, because, you're given the captaincy at a time where things are very difficult. And I know Hayley comes to the media and she speaks in a very positive manner, but it must affect her in some way. And I just really hope that, it doesn't affect her performances, because as you just said, and I'm trying to follow up on your point, being in an environment where you continuously lose, it definitely affects you. It plays on you, especially if you want to be a champion, you're accustomed winning, and worse yet, if you're the leader. Yeah,
it must be very difficult for her, a quality player, a world-class player.
Definitely.
One of the top women's cricketers, being with a group of players that are not ready, and she by herself can't muster enough power to prevent them from being embarrassed by their opponents. So it must be very difficult on her.
She's one player. I'm not judging based on the results.
Yep.
One captain.
Yeah.
All right. In the meantime, the West Indies men made a strong start to their tour of Zimbabwe. The Craig Brathwaite-led side was dominant in their drawn 3-day game against a Zimbabwe 11 in Bulawayo. Brathwaite 116 and Joshua Da Silva with an even 100, both retired not out, as the Caribbean men piled up 517. They then routed the Zimbabwe 11 for just 122. Pacers Alzari Joseph 2 for 12 and Shannon Gabriel 2 for 21 were supported by left-arm spinner Gudakesh Moti 2 for 24. Batting a second time, the Windies reached 82 for 2 when bad light stopped play on day 3. So, George, we're going to move from a negative light now to speak in a positive manner. This time we're talking...
Zimbabwe 11.
But,
could have been worse. Yeah.
We're talking about the Windies men.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And there were centuries, and there were a lot of positive things to talk about.
Yes.
And I feel really good to sit on the show today.
You feel really good because of the performance against the Zimbabwe 11?
It could have been worse. You just said that. It could have been.
Well, no, I'm playing around. Yes, good to see the authoritative batting of Craig and Joshua and the others who made good runs. And then the bowlers, very nice blowout for Shannon Gabriel especially.
Alzari.
I say Shannon especially because, Shannon's history with injury. Alzari he's better than he's ever been now. So he's in a good moment. You expect no less from him. But I'm most pleased with Shannon Gabriel, the work that he was able to get through, that he got 2 wickets for his toil. And from the naked eye, it doesn't appear as if he left the game with any discomfort. Very happy for that. So a very, very good warm-up game for the West Indies. It could hardly have gone better. Yeah,
just one thing, and I might be being a bit harsh on Tejana and Chanderpaul, but for somebody who, of course, we have so much hope in, it's like he's a bright light and we're expecting him to shine very brightly. We're sending him good wishes, but I feel like he keeps getting these stats and he's not capitalizing on it, and I can't wait till he makes a test century.
There you go.
That's just me, Benton. Let's take a break. We'll be back.
Thank you for watching SportsMax on YouTube. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and click the notification bell to stay informed.